Let me tell you a story that you already know. You've lived it. You walk through the front door after a long day. You are exhausted. Your mind is still racing with the battles you fought today. The business decisions, the financial pressure, the endless emails, the feeling that you are carrying the entire world on your shoulders. You are a provider, you are a protector, and right now, all you want is 10 minutes of absolute, uninterrupted peace. You turn the key, you step inside, but instead of peace, you walk into chaos. Toys are scattered across the floor like landmines. The TV is too loud, and then it happens. A glass is knocked off the table. Milk spills across the rug. It's a minor inconvenience, a simple accident. But you don't see it as an accident. In your exhausted state, your brain perceives it as a direct attack on your sanity. The frustration that has been boiling inside you all day finds a target, and before you can stop yourself, the dam breaks. You snap. You raise your voice. The words come out harsh, sharp, and entirely disproportionate to the crime of spilled milk. Silence falls over the room. You look down. She is standing there, her long brown hair framing a face that is suddenly filled with uncertainty and fear. She didn't mean to drop the glass. She was just being a child. But in that split second, you weren't her father, her protector, or her hero. You were a storm. In 5 seconds, you have destroyed the peace of your own home. You retreat to the bathroom, splash water on your face, look in the mirror, and the guilt hits you like a physical blow. You tell yourself, I am a good man. I am a good father. Why do I keep doing this? Why can't I control myself? You are not alone in this struggle. Millions of men fight this invisible war every single day. But understanding that you are not alone does not give you permission to stay this way. You cannot afford to be a man ruled by his temper. Today, we are going to tear down the mechanics of your anger. We are going to look at a 2,000-year-old framework that will permanently change how you react to the chaos of family life. This is the Stoic guide to mastering your anger, saving your relationship with your children, and becoming the immovable rock your family desperately needs. Chapter 2. Seneca's De Ira and the Illusion of Control. If you want to defeat an enemy, you must study it. And no one studied the enemy of anger better than the great Stoic philosopher Seneca. 2 millennia ago, Seneca wrote a brilliant, definitive essay on this exact emotion, simply titled De Ira, on anger. Seneca didn't mince words. He called anger a brief madness. He recognized it as the most destructive, hideous, and toxic of all human emotions. Think about it. When you are angry, your heart rate spikes, your face flushes, your breathing becomes shallow. You physically transform into something lesser, something primal. Seneca noted that anger is the only emotion that requires us to temporarily abandon our reason. But Seneca went deeper. He uncovered a profound psychological truth about why we get angry. We like to tell ourselves that we get mad because someone did something wrong. I am angry because she spilled the milk. I am angry because they didn't listen. Seneca says this is a lie. We do not get angry because things go wrong. We get angry because our expectations are fundamentally flawed. Anger is born from the collision between your expectations and reality. You walked into your house expecting it to be a quiet sanctuary. You expected a 6-year-old child to have the spatial awareness and emotional regulation of a 40-year-old executive. You expected the universe to pause its chaotic nature just because you had a hard day at the office. When reality, which is messy, loud, and unpredictable, clashed with your unrealistic expectation, you felt wronged. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He wasn't being a pessimist. He was adjusting his expectations to match reality. As a father, you must do the same. Children are naturally chaotic. They are exploring boundaries. They are clumsy. They will forget the rules you told them yesterday. If you expect perfect obedience and absolute silence from a child, you are setting a trap for yourself. You are choosing to be angry. The Stoic father understands that the spilled milk is not a conspiracy against his peace. It is gravity. It is a learning moment. Your anger is a choice, a terrible unconscious choice that you make when you refuse to accept the reality of the present moment. And the moment you realize that your anger is a product of your own false expectations, you take back your power. You can no longer blame the child, the traffic, or the stressful day. The control is entirely in your hands. Chapter 3. The true cost of anger, the psychological impact. Let us speak plainly about what happens when you lose your temper. You must understand the true cost of your anger, because if you don't, you will never have the motivation to change it. When you stand over a young child and yell, you are not teaching them a lesson about being careful with their juice. You are not teaching them discipline, you are teaching them fear. Physically, to a 6-year-old child, you are a giant. You are the source of their food, their shelter, their safety, and their understanding of the world. When that source of safety suddenly turns into a screaming threat, their nervous system goes into shock. Their brain floods with cortisol, the stress hormone. They enter a state of fight, flight, or freeze. They cannot learn in this state. They cannot process your logical arguments about why they should have been more careful. All they register is danger. And here is the most heartbreaking part of the angry father. The way you speak to your child today will become their inner voice tomorrow. When they grow up and make a mistake at their job, or fail in a relationship, or drop something in their own kitchen, what voice will they hear in their head? Will they hear a calm, stoic voice that says, "It's okay, mistakes happen, let's clean this up and try again"? Or will they hear your angry voice, calling them clumsy, stupid, or careless? You are literally programming the software of their self-esteem. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." Think about the injury. A broken glass, $5, 2 minutes to sweep up. Now think about the reaction. You yell, your child cries, the evening is ruined, your wife is tense, you feel like a failure. The trust between you and your child is fractured. Which was more destructive, the accident or your reaction to it? Many men believe that yelling makes them look strong. They think it establishes authority. This is a massive delusion. Screaming is not a sign of power. It is a confession of weakness. It shows that you have lost control of yourself, and because you cannot control yourself, you are trying to control others through fear. A true king, a stoic leader, does not need to raise his voice to command respect. His presence, his consistency, and his calm demeanor command respect automatically. Chapter 4. The Stoic Toolkit. How to stop the explosion. So how do we fix this? How do we build the fortress? You cannot simply decide to not be angry. Anger is a physiological response, but you can train yourself to intercept it. Here is the Stoic Toolkit to stop the explosion before it ruins your day. Tool number 1. The power of the pause. Epictetus, the slave who became one of the greatest Stoic teachers, taught that we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. Between the event, the spilled milk, and your reaction, the yelling, there is a space. In the angry man, that space is 0. He reacts instantly, but the Stoic father learns to expand that space. The next time you feel the heat rising in your chest, the next time your jaw clenches and you are about to shout, do not speak, close your mouth. Take one deep breath through your nose. Count to 3. In those 3 seconds, look at the situation objectively. Remind yourself, this is a child. This is an accident. I am the adult. That 3-second pause is the difference between a tyrant and a mentor. It breaks the circuit of rage. Tool number 2. Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is a classic Stoic exercise. Every morning while you drink your coffee before the house wakes up, visualize the chaos. Expect things to go wrong. Tell yourself, today my kids will be loud. They will not listen the first time. They will make a mess. They will interrupt me when I am working. If you mentally prepare for the chaos, it loses its power to shock you. When the mess happens, you will not be caught off guard. You will simply say, Ah, yes, I expected this. And you will handle it with cold, calm efficiency. Tool number 3. The view from above. When you are furious about a broken toy or a messy room, your vision narrows. It feels like the most important thing in the world. The Stoics used a technique called sympatheia, or the view from above. Zoom out. Imagine looking down at your house from the sky. Then, from space. Then look at it across the timeline of your life. Ask yourself, in 10 years, will I care about this spilled juice? The answer is always no. But in 10 years, will your child remember the times you terrified them over nothing? Yes, they will. Zoom out. Realize how small the trigger is and how massive the relationship is. Protect the relationship at all costs. Chapter 5. The Ultimate Strength. Chapter 5. The Ultimate Strength. How to apologize like a Stoic. Even with the best tools, you are human. You will fall short. The Stoic toolkit takes time to master. So what happens when the dam breaks? What happens when you forget the pause? You lose the view from above, and you explode. Many men let their ego take the wheel. They think, I am the father. I cannot show weakness. If I apologize, I lose my authority. So they pretend it didn't happen. They walk back into the room 10 minutes later and try to act normal. Or worse, they buy the child a toy to smooth things over without ever addressing the behavior. This is not authority. This is cowardice. A Stoic father is obsessed with truth, and the truth is, you lost control. You acted without virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own self-deception and ignorance. The ultimate display of masculine strength is accountability. When you yell at your child unjustly, you must repair the breach immediately. And there is a very specific way a Stoic father does this. You do not yell an apology from the other room. You go to them. You kneel down so that you are exactly at their eye level. You look them directly in the eyes. And you speak with complete ownership. You say, I am sorry. I raised my voice and I was wrong. I was feeling very frustrated. But it is my job to control my emotions, and I failed to do that. You did not deserve to be yelled at. I am going to work harder to stay calm. Do you realize the power of those words? You are not just apologizing. You are giving your child a masterclass in emotional intelligence. You are showing them what a good man does when he makes a mistake. You are teaching them that emotions are real, but that we are responsible for our actions. You are showing them that respect is a two-way street. An apology does not diminish your authority. It cements it. It proves that your authority is based on justice and truth, not on size and volume. When you take extreme ownership of your failures, your children will learn to take ownership of theirs. Chapter 6. The Daily Armor, a Stoic routine for dads. You cannot build a fortress in the middle of a war. If you only practice Stoicism when you are already angry, you will lose. The Stoic father builds his armor in times of peace. He prepares his mind before the battle begins. To never yell again, you must adopt the daily habits of the ancient philosophers. The morning preparation. Greater than do not wake up when your kids wake up. If your first interaction of the day is chaos, you are starting from a deficit. Wake up 30 minutes before the house. Sit in the quiet. This is the time for your premeditatio malorum. Remind yourself of who you want to be today. Set your intention. Say to yourself, today I will be tested. My patience will be stretched, but I will remain the calm center of the storm. The evening review. The Pythagorean philosophers who greatly influenced the Stoics had a strict rule. Do not go to sleep until you have reviewed your day. At night, when the house is finally silent, take 5 minutes. Ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do wrong today? What did I do right? What duty did I leave undone? If you lost your temper at dinner, do not hide from it. Examine it. Why did it happen? Were you hungry? Were you stressed about work? How can you prevent it tomorrow? This is how you sharpen the blade. You learn from today's defeats to guarantee tomorrow's victories. Conclusion: the legacy of the calm father. Your children are watching you. Every minute of every day, they are observing how you handle stress, how you handle disappointment, and how you handle them. You are writing the script for their future relationships. A father who cannot control his anger teaches his children that love is volatile, that safety is an illusion, that the world is a dangerous place where the strongest person simply yells the loudest. But a Stoic father teaches something entirely different. He teaches that the world is chaotic, but the mind can be a fortress. He teaches that strength is not about volume, but about discipline. He provides a foundation so solid, so unshakable, that his children can build their entire lives upon it without fear. The brief madness of anger will always try to creep in. But you are the gatekeeper. You have the power of the pause. You have the wisdom of the ancients. Stop making excuses for your temper. Stop letting your exhaustion dictate your character. Waste no more time arguing about what a good father should be. Be one. Thank you for watching The Stoic Father. If this message resonated with you, hit the subscribe button and join our community of men committed to virtue, discipline, and building a legacy. Drop a comment below with the word fortress if you commit to controlling your anger today. Until next time, stay calm, stay strong, stay stoic,